While Darth Talon is a popular Twi'lek Sith warrior among hardcore Star Wars fans, she still hasn't made her way to any mainstream Star Wars movies or products. Known for her black tattoos, red lightsaber, and force powers, Darth Talon was included in Star Wars legend, and she's become quite an interesting character with a key role in the events of the Legacy Broken comics. She is introduced as a fierce Sith warrior who works under Darth Cade and undergoes rigorous training to become his right-hand woman and apprentice. Today, we will explore her appearance and powers and tell you all about the woman who served as a hand to Darth Cade. Before we get into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Who is Darth Talon and why is she so relevant in the Star Wars universe? First introduced in 2006's Star Wars Legacy Broken comics, Darth Talon appears as Sith Lord Darth Cade's apprentice. Talon swears to stay loyal to him and eradicate all her competition to gain Cade's trust and prove herself worthy of serving him. Her story takes place in a future where Jedi and Sith descendants inevitably engage in war with each other, and Darth Cade especially plays a major role in these wars. As his apprentice, Darth Talon was quite a relevant presence in these comics, and she even helped bring Darth Cade back to life. Talon worked alongside a new order of Sith known as the Sith Troopers, and she later asked Darth Nihil for help restoring Cade's powers. She was also involved with Cade Skywalker, and they had an intense romance filled with many twists and turns as Talon failed to turn him to the dark side. After the Sith defeat at the end of the Legacy story arc, Talon decides to go into hiding for the time being and swears to return and help reinstate the Sith Order. How was the training process that turned her into a lethal warrior? Originating on the planet of Korriban, Darth Talon was a Lethan Twi'lek Sith Lord who was born as a third-generation Sith Lord. She grew up at the Sith Academy on Korriban and trained under the watchful eye of Darth Rune. Rune ensured that Talon honed her Force-sensitive powers to the best of her abilities and pushed her limits to make her a lethal warrior. She grew into a powerful Sith assassin, and the Sith Academy also operated as a secret headquarters of the One Sith. She shared the One Sith's mindset and was trained to be susceptible to their doctrine, but she had dedicated her existence to the Order's founder, Darth Cade. At this time, Cade was the Dark Lord of the Sith, and Talon showed unwavering loyalty to him. When Cade asked Talon to prove her loyalty by killing her master, she did not hesitate to kill Darth Rune in cold blood. After fulfilling this rite of passage, Talon successfully established herself as a trusted warrior and was promoted to the rank of one of the many hands of Darth Cade. How physically strong is Darth Talon? Darth Talon is extremely durable and strong enough to withstand force push attacks and continue fighting, even after bearing the full brunt of the push. She has fought against Skywalker and successfully defeated him even after only using her raw power. She can withstand physical attacks and bounce back in barely any time, and she has defeated several skilled swordsmen at once. Even in fights against skilled duelists like Darth Malgus or Tulak Horde, Talon has stood her ground and emerged victorious, which is quite a testament to her strength. What was her expertise in Ataru lightsaber combat? Darth Talon was quite an expert at Ataru, which was also known as Form 4 or the aggression form of lightsaber combat. Lightsaber combat has 7 different forms, and Ataru was one of the forms used all the way back during the Old Republic's age. It was used by several Jedi during the Mandalorian Wars, and it became a common combat form among Jedi as well as the Sith. It was an aggressive, fast-paced technique that worked well alongside force-assisted acrobatics and leaping strikes. Darth Talon was especially well known for using acrobatic leaps and flips in combat, which helped her attain a higher status among other Sith warriors. What were Darth Talon's Force abilities? Darth Talon had a wide range of Force abilities, and she was quite skilled at techniques such as Force Lightning. Talon implemented Force Lightning to execute Imperial Knight LK Vetter, and she even used another Force technique to compel Vetter to reveal sensitive information by summoning a cyan circle of light around him. Talon could use the Force to exert control over beasts and manipulate their minds so that they would help her fight against the Jedi. She even established a Force bond with Cade Skywalker, and this bond enabled her to sense his feelings. In a similar manner, Talon sensed Darth Cade's life force and released him from stasis by using Force Lightning. She could also implement the Force Push, which she used to push Shadow Vao into the ground with such strength that it took him a good while to get back on his feet. All about her ability to camouflage herself. After being appointed as a hand for Cade, Darth Talon was sent on a mission to capture Princess Marasiah Fel. While Princess Fel resided at the Imperial mission, her bodyguard and mentor helped her run away, even at the cost of his life. While Fel managed to escape, Talon quite literally shadowed her and followed her without detection at the Imperial mission. She was quite skilled at concealment, and her impressive camouflage skills could be physical or powered by the Force. While the origins of this power are unknown, it would mean a great deal if she could wield the rare Force concealment power. What was Darth Talon's personality like? Darth Talon's personality can be best described as cold and dispassionate. Just like other Sith, Darth Talon did not have compassion for others, and she would mercilessly commit murders or go on any mission that Darth Cade sent her on. She did not question his authority and didn't hesitate when he asked her to kill her mentor to prove her loyalty. She followed the rule of one, a doctrine given by Darth Cade, which compelled her to obey Cade, even if it meant she would lose her life. She once stated she would willingly accept her death if Cade declared so, and she had utterly devoted her life to him. Talon had embraced the new Sith Order, and she also got Sith tattoos commonly seen among several members of this new order. Exploring her intense romance with Cade Skywalker. While the Jedi and Sith have fought against each other for years, Darth Talon had quite an intense romance with Luke Skywalker's descendant, Cade. Cade was a Jedi Padawan who had eventually chosen a life as a bounty hunter, and he even struggled to control his attraction to the dark side after Darth Cade murdered his father. While coping with these events, Cade came across Darth Talon and eventually viewed her as an enemy. They had quite a tumultuous relationship, and they went from being enemies to teacher and student, and finally even lovers. Their relationship was quite a roller coaster, and they eventually ended as enemies after having one of the most intense bonds in the history of the franchise. They first met on Vendexa, where Talon damaged Cade's ship and even sent her beasts to attack him. She later used a mind trick to manipulate Cade, but he managed to fight back and left her with no option but to go after Cade's master, Wolf Sazin. Eventually, Cade ran out of options to defend himself and succumbed to using the Force to fling Talon away. She soon recovered from this attack, but they continued to run into each other as Talon hoped to bring him over to the dark side under Darth Cade's orders. When Talon attacked Cade on Coruscant with the intention of capturing him alive, Cade overpowered her in a duel and almost killed her. However, one of Cade's other hands came to Talon's rescue and subdued Cade by choking him. Cade and Talon's relationship is often seen as a metaphor for Cade's feelings for the dark side, as he finds himself conflicted due to his desire for a power he hates. At one point, Cade injured Talon in a fight, but Cade then compelled Cade to use the Force to heal her. This action created a Force bond between the two, thereby linking Cade to Talon and her dark side. Cade then declared that Cade must train in the ways of the Sith and appointed Talon as his master. While Talon oversaw his training, the two started getting closer to each other and engaged in intimate acts. But Talon remained skeptical of Cade's interest in joining the Sith. She was convinced that he was trying to fool her, and Cade even refused to go through with the final test he needed to prove his loyalty to Cade. Cade then stabbed Talon with his lightsaber and escaped, thereby destroying the bond they had carefully built after so much back and forth. Their romance once again turned into rivalry, and they continued to duel each other on several occasions, where Talon gloated that their Force bond would always ensure that Cade was connected to the dark side. The two fought each other one last time on Coruscant before Cade killed Cade and chose to live as a Jedi, while Talon succumbed to a life in hiding along with the rest of the One Sith. Cade may have been heavily tempted to join the dark side for Talon, but he eventually resisted the temptation and returned to the light side. Was Darth Talon immortal? While Darth Talon hasn't been killed off yet, there's no evidence that suggests that she might be immortal. Talon has suffered fatal injuries during combat, and in one such instance, Talon was impaled through her abdomen while defending Cade on Coruscant. She was unable to recover from the attack immediately, and she helplessly watched as Cade Skywalker escaped from Coruscant. After things settled down, Talon sought treatment for her wounds and spent a lot of time in a Bacta tank to speed up her healing process. She did have some healing abilities, but she couldn't regenerate or heal her fatal injuries with the help of the Force. While she survived a fatal wound in this instance, Talon had to take measures to ensure her survival, and we can safely conclude that she is not immortal. Marvelous verdict. To sum it up, Darth Talon is one of the best Sith warriors in the futuristic story arcs covered in Star Wars legend, and she also gained a lot of popularity among fans. Her impressive warrior skills, force powers, and strength make her a promising character in the extended Star Wars universe, and we hope to see more of her in future story arcs. That's all for this time, but if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, stay safe out there, and have a marvelous day.